Thanks for tuning back in. I'm Tommy Campbell, still bald, still in my basement, and still laughing at Rudy Giuliani getting served at his birthday party. Usually the clown is the entertainment, but at this party, the clown's the star. Pro tip, if you're trying to avoid getting served, don't give away your location in your live streams. Live streams, also a good name for his weird new coffee that matches his dripping hair dye. Hey Rudy, maybe you should be distancing yourself from brown fluids? Just saying. Things are winding down, and soon New Yorkers will get their city back from the deep state military control that closed multiple city blocks. What? That never happened? But Trump said. Exactly. Today's a ton of fun. Fan favorite Tucker Carlson returns to the Tommy Campbell Show to discuss Donald Trump refusing to take the stand. More MAGA dominoes continue to fall, and by popular demand, I'll be reading another genuine page from my special copy of Lauren Boebert's book and more, but first this.
Will he actually demand the drug test, and will he get it? And if he doesn't, will he do the debate?
Well, I don't think it's an outrageous request at all. You know, people across this country, Eric, have a lot of questions about what is going on with Joe Biden. Why do you seem to see two very different versions of him in very rapid succession? And certainly if somebody is using some sort of a substance, that would be nice for the American people to know. So I don't think it's a request that is too outrageous by any measure. I certainly think it's something that should be looked into. And yes, while he jokes about it, it's actually very serious to consider the leader of the free world might, who knows what's going on with him. It's rather concerning.
You drug test athletes, you drug test cyclists, you drug test boxers, you drug test thoroughbred horse. I mean, you do this to make sure that there no nefarious things are going on. It's not a crazy thing to ask, and Trump will do. I'm sure Trump will do the same thing. Do you?
Eric's makeup lab explosion, Mar-a-Lago bad karaoke, wino wife, back on Newsmax with genius Eric, who says athletes, then goes on to list two sports and horses. These are the people that were against masks and vaccines, and now they want drug tests. And speaking of COVID, Mark Meadows admitted in his memoir that Trump tested positive 3 days before the debate. How considerate. And Trump was on steroids indefinitely after he got COVID, combined with every pill Ronnie Jackson doled out. It's just absurd to demand a drug test. I mean, you can even get false reads. If Don Jr. sneezes in their vicinity, they'll both be off the charts. I've said this before and I'll say it again. We don't need a drug test before a debate. We need an IQ test. I'll even make it really simple. You each get a flat pack IKEA desk and 15 minutes to assemble it. I'll even allow spouses to linger to make it relatable to the home audience. Jill can check in to see if it's done every few minutes, and Melania can give Trump her permanent death stare while he uses an Allen key for the first time in his life. Folks, my desk is finished, and Donald Trump is still trying to get on the first leg. Righty-tighty. Tighty-whitey's full of... You thought I was going to say it, but I didn't. It is pouring MAGA Tears. I played in 35 countries for over 2 decades, but most days you'll find me here. Thanks for taking in this bald comedian's take on things. Please join the best subscribers on YouTube while I blast the latest and stupid and more.
We're told that the former president is preparing for a potential conviction, at least on some of the counts. And that's largely because Donald Trump personally believes that the jury is biased. He has long believed, even before the trial began, that he could not get a fair trial in Manhattan, a mostly Democratic city. And so he's preparing for that potential option now.
Because he's guilty. Remember, Trump's version of a fair trial is zero evidence against him allowed and a jury made up of the people that line up outside Mar-a-Lago.
One thing I am glad about, as he was leaving court the other day, he said, yes, I will testify. Now, most defense attorneys would say, no, 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 no. But in this case, Brian, it's the right thing to do, and I'll tell you why. Because everything is stacked against him. The judge, the jurors, he will never get a fair trial. This is their only chance at a true conviction. The man wants to get up there, look those jurors in the eyes, and fight. That's what he does. And he's not going to go quietly, and he shouldn't. He's going to get up there, say what he has to say, fight till his very last breath. But that is the right thing to do because he is being...
Gotta love the bleach blonde, bad-built Butch Body's Oompa Loompa-headed boyfriend looking down at his feet and then away while the RSBN guest talks of Trump testifying. Is Trump a fighter? What happened? Well, to discuss this, please welcome back to the Tommy Campbell Show, Tucker Carlson. Good evening, I'm Tucker Carlson, and tonight I want to talk to you about the Trump trial, now that both the defense and the prosecution have rested their case. For weeks, Trump's only support in court was the gravel pit turkey mangina propping him up between naps, and middle son Eric trying to create the illusion that his family cares about his fate while pulling double duty. If you don't know, Eric carries a holster. Not for a gun, but for a pair of golden turd tongs he uses to keep Trump's funk from getting out of control. What is that about? For a long time, Trump promised, dare I say threatened, to take the stand.
I'm testifying. I tell the truth. I mean, all I can do is tell the truth.
Yes. You plan to testify in your trial in New York?
Yeah, I would testify, absolutely. It's a scam.
I am going to testify. I will. I'm totally going to do it. Oh, there's a gag order. I can't do it. It's a scam. I'm gagged. I'm gagged. The only people gagged are those trapped in that courtroom with the Old Spice full depends blonde skunk. Judge Juan Merchan clarified in court that the gag order in no way prevented Trump from testifying. Now, if anyone sane actually saw any of those clips, they would be certain that the great real president would take the stand. He is incredibly tough. So much so, he even had a former outlaw biker gang leader at his trial who deviated from the red tie dollar store Reservoir Dogs Trump costumes to wear cowboy boots that looked like they were designed by the Easter Bunny. What are those? So, if you're indeed innocent, why wouldn't you want to utilize the opportunity to plead your case? The people of this country, the land of the free, if you want to still call it that, and those watching from around the world, these people have home and business relationships and get into arguments. If you didn't order a salad with your burger, do you accept it or do you let them know the truth? But here's what happened when Donald Trump's teleprompter malfunctioned.
Nation in the history of the world.
Now I have to be fair and point out that this could have been a dramatic pause. There's a chance he meant to do this, just like he meant to make Tiffany. Without the words on the big screens, there was nothing he could do. He froze. So is this what would happen if he took the stand? Would he go full Mitch McConnell without a script? Is that why he refused to testify? Because he knew he relies on the written word, and his own memory would find it difficult to bone-spur tiptoe through a web of lies.
Yes, oh yes, and quickly, says President Trump. Yes, oh yes, and quickly.
Even when the words are there, he can't read them correctly. This is like an actor in a film speaking their character name and scene direction. Hercules picks up sword. Oh yes, and quickly. It sounds like he's reading the script from one of Stormy Daniels' films. And some of them do have scripts. There are some interesting titles in that collection.
Terrible. But Americans are not struggling. You know, this is the worst platform. Who put this stage up here? This is the worst. The frickin' place is falling down. I notice it keeps tilting further left. What a crappy contractor this was. No, it's true. I know.
It's not the platform, it's the podium or the lectern, a hotly debated topic by some. But to suggest the stage is off is rather ridiculous because it's not the platform, the podium, the lectern, or the stage. It is Donald Trump. That's the problem. And he hasn't figured that out yet. Should he be blaming contractors, his weak genetics, or his silver spoon upbringing, one that I completely relate to? I'm just asking questions. This week, the MAGA Mugshot Club welcomed Christina Bobb. Christina's the lawyer the RNC tapped to lead their election integrity efforts, despite the fact that she was at the January 6th command center. Bobb was one of the 11 people arraigned in Maricopa County in the Arizona fake electors case that includes Rudy Giuliani. Bobb was indicted in connection to the alleged attempts to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. She has pleaded not guilty, and although she wanted to channel Trump with this mugshot, it's more like Chris Gaines, if you get that. Here's a picture. Thank you. I see every tip from pennies to dollars. They are hugely appreciated and help make this show possible. If you love what I do here and you can afford to help out, throw me a buck with the PayPal link in the pinned comment or drop me a super thanks with this button. For those new to the show, I'm glad you found me. Thank you. For 2 years, I've been reading genuine pages from my special copy of Lauren Boebert's book. This is a ton of fun. I only do this once a week and it's been pretty wild. Let's get back to it. My broken iPhone screen was not an ideal situation. I couldn't take calls or send messages, and shattered glass made it impossible to see my wallpaper. A photo I took of Ted Cruz wearing nothing but his cowboy boots and a pair of white Hanes he called his lucky skidders, and the manly vest he puts on when he wants to do one of his pretend border visits. I remember he was going to zip it up, and I told him that we're in our safe space at the Marriott. There is no sense in hiding the Cuban werewolf. Ted was nervous about getting some of his salt and pepper chest muff caught in the zipper again, so he was relieved that I was so open to it being open. And I snapped a picture and he said, "Delete that. You have to delete that. If my dog wife Heidi finds that, she will leave me." When he realized the photograph was taken on my phone, he dialed it back and told me to keep it private. And I did. He liked that I enjoyed his chest hair, and I told him how my husband, Jason with the Y, would shave his for amateur bodybuilding competitions, and how he carried around a travel bottle of baby oil to keep it fresh. So if I ever leaned on him, I would slip and hit my abnormally sharp chin on the steering wheel or the bedside milk crate. Ted's chest had grip, and it reminded me of the shag carpet in the back of the van I used to hang out in with these party guys I met behind the dollar store. Sometimes Cruz would share his savory snack bag with me on the bed, and I gotta say, that chest situation was a chip magnet. I would try and brush out the mess, but it took a lot of time. I even tried chopsticks to get the large bits, but eventually I convinced him to allow my emotional support hamster Mountain Dew to crawl through the carpet where his pecs should be and score all those sweet bits of Funyun. "Hey, that tickles," said Ted, laughing uncontrollably. "Stop, stop!" I had to remind him, hamsters can't talk yet. So no matter how many times you say stop, Mountain Dew will continue to mine Funyun crumbs from your SOS pad chest. I was just grateful he was so open to allowing a hamster in our bedroom, especially one at the Marriott with a strict no pets policy. It was like a fairy tale. If you've enjoyed this genuine page from Low Rent Boozburb's book, let me know in the comments and I'll see about reading another page sometime soon. Stop it, Baldy. Your impressions are awful. MAGA Tears. FJB. Trump 2024. MAGA Tears. This is a Soros satellite channel. MAGA Tears. But remember, Trump's version of a fair trial is a zero evidence against him allowed and a jury made up of the people that line up outside Mar-a-Lago. The only people gagged are those trapped in that courtroom with the Old Spice full depends blonde skunk. Trump's only support in court was the gravel pit turkey Mangina propping him up between naps, who deviated from the red tie dollar store Reservoir Dogs Trump costumes to wear cowboy boots that looked like they were designed by the Easter Bunny. I was just grateful he was open to allowing a hamster in the bedroom. I was grateful he allowed a hamster in the bedroom with us. Delete that. You have to delete that. If my dog wife Heidi finds that, she will leave me. Ted's chest had grip and reminded me of the shag carpet in the back of the van I used to hang out in with these party guys. So if I ever leaned on him, I would slip and hit my abnormally sharp chin on the steering wheel or the bedside milk crate. Ted's chest had grip and reminded me of the shag carpet in the back of the van I used to hang out in with these party guys I met behind the dollar store. Thanks for watching. Please stick around and check out another one of my videos. Say hello in the comments. Find my stand-up on Spotify, streamed by millions, and add me on Facebook and Instagram. It all helps. Be cool, be kind, take care.